In 1980, the British government published this guidebook behind me, Protect and Survive. It contains information about how to keep your home and family as safe as possible during a nuclear attack. The advice given in the book is largely still valid today, such as building in a refuge in the centre of your house on the ground floor 3 meters or more from external walls. This is sound advice because keeping as much distance between you and radioactive fallout, which could be outside your house, is a good idea. But some of the advice in the book seems laughable to most today, such as take off your wooden doors and lean them up against the wall and put cushions on the sides. Well, that might actually protect from flying glass and some debris, but it's not going to do anything to stop radiation reaching you, especially if you have no windows. The 3 films that I have made are about different characters and how they protect and survive, or not. And now we deal with the most common comment that we always hear when we're talking about this subject. Why would you want to survive in that situation? Well, you might not want to survive, but unfortunately you don't have a choice. As much as many would like to be vaporized in the instant of a first nuclear explosion, you might not be that lucky. A first nuclear strike, according to experts, and I'm not an expert by the way, would likely be to take out the ability of a country to fire back. That means military targets and critical infrastructure, not necessarily major cities, not at first anyway. Military leaders across the world have lots of war games where they simulate various different pathways and scenarios which could result from a first nuclear strike. They don't all end up in total nuclear Armageddon. But even if they don't end up in total nuclear Armageddon, there would almost certainly be huge geopolitical changes in the world. So even one small nuke anywhere in the world would just cause absolute chaos on the whole of planet Earth. Let's make no mistake about that. So let's suppose that you're not in a blast zone and your house has survived pretty much unscathed. Even your windows are intact. You can still get radioactive fallout falling on you from any direction, and you're going to want to protect against that. So now you have a choice. You can just allow yourself and your family to get radiation sickness, which is a horror that nobody wants to even imagine. Or you can take some steps to try and reduce that exposure to radiation for you and your family so that you can survive and possibly help others. But what then? If you've survived the attack and you've survived the radiation, what's going to happen next? When there's no government and society has collapsed, food, water, medicine, home defence are all going to be the biggest challenges. All this considered, it's not hard to accept why somebody wouldn't want to be alive in that situation. But again, you might be whether you like it or not. The Days Ahead anthology movie is about the immediate days after a first nuclear strike. It is therefore not a post-apocalyptic film, it's more a present disaster film and a close-to-character experience which highlights the vulnerability of British citizens in the absence of any kind of civil protection scheme. In 1980, the British government published this guidebook behind me, Protect and